Hello magical hands, welcome back to another sewing tutorial. If you're new to the channel, my name is Jessica, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. Today's tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to make a simple dress with the exaggerated hip as well as the joint turtleneck. So stick around and let's get into this video proper. I'll mark 1 inch from the top of the fabric, which is going to be the starting line of everything we are going to do, and also going to be the line where the turtleneck of this dress will be on. Next, I marked the neck width, which I'll be using 4 inches, but I added 1 inch for that. If you look at the picture closely, you realize there's a neck dart. So from that point downwards, I'm going to still mark another 1 inch. And on that 1 inch that I'm going to draw a straight line across, I'm going to mark all my shoulder measurements from that point. So that space in between is going to be the space for the turtleneck. My exact shoulder measurement is 7.5 inches. That's my shoulder measurement divided by 2 is 7.5. Plus the 1 inch for that, I will be marking 8.5 inches on the second line. From that line, I'll come down by 1 inch, which is going to be for the shoulder slope. And I'll connect it to meet the neck width that we already marked on the turtleneck line. On the first line, we are going to connect it to meet that line. From the shoulder slope, I'm going to come down and I'll mark my armhole measurement divided by 2, which is an 8 inches. I'll connect the lines together and I'll extend it forward to the right side, which will enable me to place the armhole curve properly. Next, we are going to get the armhole curve. Mind you, the armhole curve for the front is different from that of the back. So I'm going to find the midpoint of my armhole, which is 4 inches, and I will come in by half an inch. So I'm going to place my curve ruler as seen, and then I will mark the armhole curve. I will place my tape from the second line and I'll start marking my basic points so I can apply my round measurements. So I marked my bust point, I marked my under bust, and then I marked my half length as well as the hip line and the full length of this dress. And I will start making straight lines across those points that I have marked. So on those points, that is where I'm going to apply all my round body measurements. Before then, I'll mark my apex measurements from the bust point to where the welt pockets will be placed on. And my apex measurement is 3.5 inches, but I'm going to make it 4 inches because by the time I cut, since I'm not using a pattern paper, you realize that everything is still going to go back to its exact measurement. So I'm going to determine where my welt pocket will be to enable me know where I will stop marking this apex measurement. So I drew a welt pocket so we can understand that is the point where I'm going to stop marking my apex measurement because the welt pocket is going to cover it. Next, I'll connect all the lines together, all the points of the apex measurement. I'll connect them together to form a straight line as seen. And then I'm going to connect it using the curved side of my ruler to meet the midpoint of the armhole line. So just take your time and make sure that this curves beautifully. It's not just slanted, just make sure it curves beautifully. On the half length, I'm going to mark half an inch apart from the apex line. Same thing I'll do to the under bust. Now I'm going to connect those lines together with a straight line. I'm going to use my ruler and then I'm going to use the curved side of my ruler to connect it to meet the bust point. So just use the curved side of your ruler like this so that it is not too sharp. And also you have something looking more like a cup. Now on the lower side, I'm going to connect it slopey using the straight side of the ruler to connect it as seen. Now I'm going to start marking all my round bodice measurements on all the points. My bust measurement is 7.5 inch plus 1 inch for darts, for sewing allowance, and 1 inch for sewing the dart. What I have on my bust point, I'll mark it on the armhole. My round under bust measurement divided by 4 is 8.5 plus 1 inch to replace that part that will be cutting out. And now I'm going to add 1 inch for sewing the dart and 1 inch for sewing allowance. And I'll do same thing to my half length, which is my round waist measurement, and as well as the hip and full length. So I added my sewing allowance. I forgot to add it when I was marking, so I went on to add it, which I used 1 inch. So make sure to add all these allowances. Now on the waist hip line, my hip measurement is 10. I'm going to add 1 inch for ease because of how wide the hip of this clothes is. So once I add it, there is no dart at the hip side, nothing, just add your sewing allowance. So 1 inch for hip and 1 inch for sewing allowance. And what I have on my hip, I'll put on the full length. So now I'm going to connect the lines together. At that hip line, you're going to see how I'm going to curve this out. I want it to be so curved out because the hip is supposed to be bigger and it's supposed to just be so free. I'll move on to the neck width, and I'm going to curve the neck, the turtleneck, so that it is not too choky, and that is why I use 4 inches for the width. So I'm going to take my curve ruler to curve in 1/2 inch, and once I'm done doing that, I'm going to start marking allowance. I'm going to mark allowance for the collar and for the shoulder, as well as for the armhole, because I use my actual armhole measurements. So once I am done marking this, I'm going to take my scissors and start cutting. I know the curve of the hip is not so out, but it will come out by the time we are done sewing up that dart. Now I'm going to start marking the dart. I mark 2.5 inch for the dart for the width, and then I mark 1/2 inch apart. The depth of the that of the neck width of the neckline is going to be 5 inches, plus the sewing allowance that I already placed. I'm going to mark 5.5 inch. So at that point where I have the 5.5 inch, I'm going to make sure that I have what I have on my apex measurements, which is a 3.5 inch. Don't forget our apex is 3.5, and then I'm going to connect it together as seen. It's going to give me a slanted look. So 2.5 inch on the top, and the width is 3.5 inch. So I'm going to now connect from that slope, that sharp point, to meet the 1/2 inch I marked apart from the dart. So this is what our neck dart is going to be looking like, and I'm going to duplicate everything I have here on the other side. Make sure you are chalking all your chalkings on the wrong side of the fabric. I am doing all this on the wrong side of the fabric, so I notched it so that by the time I open it up, I'll be able to see it on the other side. I have opened it up, and I'm going to take this to my sewing machine to sew up the dart, or the bossier, the bossier. So by the time I do that, I'm also going to sew the dart. Mind you, we have not cut the back piece. We'll need the front piece to be complete. So I'm going to duplicate the dart on the other side. You can fold it into and hit on the fabric so the chalk can dust off on the other side, or you can go ahead and remeasure it just the way I am doing mine. I am done sewing the front piece. I have formed the front piece, and you can see that the hip is beginning to come out more. It's beginning to look more full and fine. For the back piece, after I folded my fabric in two, I marked 1.5 inch for zip allowance, and from that 1.5 inch, I placed the front piece on this so that I can duplicate the neckline as well as the shoulder line. I'm not going to curve the neckline of the back piece. I'm just going to mark it straight. Now we'll take the front piece off so I can mark the armhole, because you know the front armhole is different from the back armhole. So after I've marked my armhole round divide by 2, I'll extend it to the right side, which will enable me to place the armhole curve. Next, I'll start marking my basic points, which we already did all this on the front piece. And then I'm going to also mark my armhole curve. So now draw straight lines across all these basic points that I have marked. Now I'm going to start placing my apex measurements from where the zip allowance stop, which is 4 points, which is a 4 inches, which I told you guys is a 3.5, but I'll add 1/2 inch. So I'm going to mark it from the armhole line. I'm going to connect that armhole line straight. That is where my dart for the back is going to start from. So I'm going to mark the 4 inches there, and I'm going to stop exactly on my half length. So once I am done marking these lines, I'm going to now do the regular type of dart, which I'll just be sewing. So on the bust point and on the half length, which is similar to what we did at the front, I will mark half an inch apart from the apex line, and then I'm going to connect it in a slopy form, in a slanted form, to meet the half length as well as to meet the top, which is the armhole line that we extended, or the chest line. So once I am done marking this is basically everything for the back piece. I'm going to start applying my round bodice measurements, which you've already seen me doing when I was doing the front piece, and then I will start cutting. I split open the zip after I shaped the zip. Now I'm going to place the fabric on each other so that I can dust the chalk of the dart to the other side. Now I'm going to hit it hard so that the chalk line can show on the other side, and so I can go and sew up the dart. So now that I've duplicated the darted lines on the other side, we'll take this over to the sewing machine and sew the dart and be back. I am done sewing up the darts, and then now I'm going to place them on each other and I'll sew up the zip allowance. So I'm going to sew 1.5 inch regardless of the trim side. So 1.5 inch all through using a loose stitch because you're still going to lose it. I have sewed that up and this is what I have. Take your time to iron this. Make sure to flatten out the dart. Next, I'm going to cut out an interface for the neckline of the front and back piece. I'm going to place the interface and I'm going to sew up the shoulder line of the interface. I'm going to sew the interface separately from the dress and I'll be back. Before I start sewing the shoulder of the main dress together, I'm going to cut out the armhole. I'm going to use one of the bodies, one of the piece. I'm going to place the armhole on top of the fabric as seen. I'm going to place it as seen and I'm going to chalk out the armhole line on this so that I can have the measurements exactly. So now that I have done that, I'm going to reshape this my armhole curve. I'm going to mark the length of the sleeve. The sleeve in the picture came out very well. It was very long and I like that type of sleeve. So I'm also going to make mine very long. And then I'm going to start applying my sleeve arm. I'm going to measure it, the actual measurements, including the sewing allowance. So the lower side of the of the sleeve is actually wide, so I marked 10 inches on fold. That is like 20 inches. It's actually wide like a flay. So this is what I have for the sleeve. I'll go ahead and cut it in 2 pieces. If you look at the picture closely, you will notice that at that flay side of the zip of the sleeve, it has an opening. So I'm going to mark where my opening is going to be, and I use 6 inches, which I am okay with. Now I can go ahead to join the shoulder of the front piece and the back piece together. After joining it, I'm going to open it up as seen, and I'm going to lose up the zip allowance. I'm going to lose it a little because I'm about to attach the interface that we sewed earlier. I'm about to attach it to the round neckline. So I'm going to place it as seen and I'm going to place the interface on it. And you will see that the interface will match exactly to be the same measurement. So now I'll open it up and make sure that all the sewing allowance falls to the interface side, and then I'm going to sew neatly so that it would be top stitched on the right side of the over interface, and this way you will see that everything is going to relax properly on the neckline. I did not even notch any of the curved side of the neckline. All I did was to do this method. Now you can see how clean this looks. It gives a more professional look and it's going to relax properly at the neckline. Now this is what we have. This is what it's looking like. Everything is beginning to take shape. So I'm going to open it up as seen, and then I'm going to attach the armhole before I shape everything. Before I join the whole bodies together, I'm going to first of all attach the armhole. I have attached the sleeves to the bodies, and I'm going to take this to my sewing machine to start sewing, to start shaping the whole dress. So this point, you can make yours to be very tight and you can also make yours to be quite loose depending on how you want it to be. So I want mine to look like that of the ladies in the video because that was what made me want to make this dress, and you never can tell the occasion. I actually love the result of this dress. So you can make yours to be very tight. I'm going to show you guys a picture of a tight one, and it all makes sense. So after I sewed mine, it was actually very tight and fitted, so I loosened it up again. So once I am done with this sewing, I'm going to fix the zip, and then I'm going to attach the pockets. I am done shaping the dress, and on the ends of the front dart I am going to attach my pockets. Now I did not have enough fabric to do the welt pocket, so I just did a regular pocket cover and I sewed on it. Make sure to iron your darts very well. I had to wait for NEPA to bring the light so I could iron my darts so well.